Hello, my name is Charles Martinez. Today's date is December 5th. It is approximately 11:25 p.m. or a.m. I'm sorry, and this will be my Circ 12 attempt A. And in attempt A, we are going to be adding 2 additional components. So I'll go ahead and go over the Arduino board itself before I start going over this coding here. So on the Arduino circuit kit here, let me go ahead and stop it. We have the RGB LED 8mm connected to the 560 ohms resistor. It is a common cathode, so we did connect to the negative on the common pin, and on the red pin, which is the top pin, we do have that one connected over here, which will go into, I believe it's going to be pin 6, or I'm sorry, pin 3. Yeah, pin 3. It's going into pin 3, and then we have our blue, which is the middle ohms resistor right there, connected to I believe that's 7 on the breadboard there. You can see it, and that one should be connected to our pin 5. And then we have our blue on the bottom, 560 ohms resistor right there, connected into slot 8, going to our pin, I believe that's pin 6. And then we have our buzzer, and our buzzer is connected directly into the negative, and then our positive cathode is going to be going, or I'm sorry, anode is going to be going into the pin, I believe that's pin 9 there, with the purple going into pin 9. And then we have our push button, which our push button is connected with our resistor going to our cathode, and then we have our anode going to the pin 28 there. That's going to be our positive and our negative. And this will be connected with the push button pin and going to our blue wire here, which is going to be going into our pin 2 over here in our circuit board. Our positive and negative are connected over there as usual, with our ground and our 5 volts, which are jumpered over to this side over here using the yellow and orange here. And so let me go ahead and go over the coding here. And the coding was copied and pasted from the Making It Better, and we're going to be fading with these ones here. We're going to be fading the RGB. And we have our int LED analog 1, and then it's got our what is it called, arrays. And then our arrays are defined to pin 3, 5, and 6. And then we have our constant integer. The constants won't change, and we have it going to pin 2 for our button pin, and our buzzer to pin 9 for the buzzer. And then we have our integer button state equals 0, just letting us know that that is the integer state defined. Then with the rest of the coding here, we have our constants, byte, and then these are our colors here. And then our colors are defined with the here from 0 to 220 to 255 is the maximum, 0 being the minimum. We have all our colors coded here. And then we have our RGBL analog preamble, and this is going to be the void setup here, going into with our for loop, integer I equals 0. If I is less than 3, then I plus plus, add 1 I. When we got our pin mode, LED analog 1 I, and this is set to output. And then we have our set color, and LED analog 1, and it's equal to black at this point. And let's see here, and this is to turn off the LED. And then we have our pin mode for button pin input, so it's going to be inputting for our button pin to see if what state our button pin is at. Then we have our pin mode buzzard going to output, so we'll be sending an output signal to the buzzard. Our void loop, and then we have the read state of the push button, and this is a push button state equals digital read, and it's going to be reading if it's high or low. And then checks if the button is pressed. If it is pressed, then it's high, so button state equals high if it's pressed. And if it is pressed, then we will be sending a tone to the buzzard of 70 hertz, not 1,000, not at 1 kilohertz, but it's actually just 70 hertz. It's labeled a little bit different on the comment there. Then we have a slight delay, and then we have a no tone buzzer to turn off the buzzer with an even slighter delay. And then we have our fade to color going blue to red. And if the button is pressed, then you know it's going to be going from green to blue if it's not pressed. If it is pressed, it's going to be doing red to blue. So when it's pressed, it's going to give us our sound, and we're going to have our blue and red LEDs going off, or are fading from blue to red. And if it's not pressed, then we're going to have our fade color, and this is going to be LED analog 1, green to blue, and this is pretty much going to fade it green to blue if it's not pressed. So when it's not pressed, it'll be fading between green and blue. With that 1 right there is going to be our delay right there, that 1. So it's going to be fading pretty quick, just for the purpose of the demonstration of the video. Same thing with our red to blue, is going to be fading pretty quick as well. So both of them will be fading pretty quick. And then below that we have the code. These ones are in comment, so they won't be running. The one that we don't have in comment is going to be, or in comments, is going to be the code that we're going to be using when the button is pressed. So for all the other coding, I commented it out, that way it's not running. And when it does read, it'll get the not the set color, it's going to be the void fade color. This one, void fade color, and this is going to be the code that's going to be running as it is fading the colors between red and green and blue and green. It'll be getting its information from this piece of coding here. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and plug it in, and then we'll go ahead and upload the code. Upload, and we'll get our little send and receive. And then okay, so we have our green and fading green and blue pretty quickly because of our 1 delay that we had for the fade. So it's going to be fading green and blue really quickly, and then if we push the button, we should get a sound, and we should get a red to blue fade versus a green to blue. So let's go ahead and push the button. We should get our sound. There's our sound buzzing and our red to blue. And then if we let up off of it, we're going to go back to our green to blue with no sound. Push it, we'll get our red to blue with the sound. And this is my Circ 12 attempt A, and thank you for watching.